Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bismarck Benyamauli. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am a student of Fusu College of Education, Languages Department. I'm here to take you through one aspect of the English language on the topic punctuation marks. Now, let's look at learning indicators here. So, we will look at what punctuation marks are. We look at examples of punctuation marks. Then we look at uses of punctuation marks. So let's start by looking at what punctuation mark is. Punctuation literally means pointing. In Latin, it is punctus or a point. In grammar, it is the name given to the division of statement or collection of words into sentences, clauses, phrases, questions, and exclamations. In speech, one usually uses pauses of different length by the speaker's tone of voice, by inflection, by facial expression, etc. Punctuation marks are used intelligently to separate and join units of language into a cohesive text. The incorrect use of punctuation marks can, however, change the entire meaning of a sentence. Our discussion will focus on the main punctuation marks. So we will look at the full stop first, we look at the comma, we look at question mark, we look at apostrophe, we look at semicolon, we look at colon itself, then we look at quotation marks, we also look at hyphen, then we look at exclamation mark. Now let's start by looking at full stop. Is that the full stop or period is one of the most important punctuation marks and most emphatic because its main function is to mark the end of a sentence and so separate one sentence from another. The sentence terminal use alone defines the strictest sense of a full stop. Now, for example, the student arrived late to school. You can see that we have the full stop at the end of the sentence, and so we say that the full stop ends a sentence. Now let's go to the uses of the full stop. Looking at the uses of the full stop. Now the full stop is used at the end of a declarative sentence as earlier discussed. Then it is also used to denote abbreviations. Let's say there are words, when you say abbreviations, words that has been shortened. Mostly we use the first letters. So here we have H.A for His Excellency. Then it is used in website addresses, for example www.bbmi.com, and you can see that the dot is separating them, and so that is another use of the full stop. Let's look at this one too. It says we use the full stop in numbers. Example 123.333. You can see that the point is separating the whole numbers from the decimal numbers. Let's look at comma. Now, the comma is a punctuation mark that appears in several variants in different languages. It has the same shapes as an apostrophe or single closing quotation mark in many typefaces, but it differs from them as it's being placed on the baseline of the text. So the only difference is that comma is placed at the baseline of your writing. That is that. A comma is an extremely common punctuation mark, but its use causes a great deal of concern and confusion in many people. Some uses of the comma. Now you say that the comma is used as a separating device in list. Here we can use the comma to separate a list of items. So can you buy me a pen? You see the comma, the book and pencil. That is the comma separating the list. We also use comma to set off appositives. When you say appositives, a noun that describes another noun, or a noun phrase that describes another noun. So my father, the doctor, is here. So you see that my father is a noun or a noun phrase, the doctor, and then is here, and they are being separated by the comma. So we have it is used to separate two independent clauses when they are connected by a conjunction. Example, the trip was expensive, but it was worth. So you can see that it's separating the two sentences. It's used to separate question tags. Example, you don't like eggs, do you? So you can see that you don't like eggs is the question, and do you is another question, and they are being separated by the comma. we're looking at question marks, and we said that the question mark is a punctuation mark that indicates an interrogative clause or phrase in many languages. The question mark, also known as the query, is used to mark the end of a sentence which asks a question. So the point here is that it asks a question. So anytime you see a question mark at the end of a sentence, it means that it is a question or an interrogative statement. So example, what is your name? Okay, now let's go to apostrophe. We said that an apostrophe is used with the letter S to indicate that something belongs to someone or something. In other words, it is used to indicate possession. Let's look at the uses of apostrophe. A singular noun usually indicates possession by adding S, or that is apostrophe and S, to the form of the verb. Example, Kwame's new car is magnificent. So you can see the apostrophe being used to show the car, that the car belongs to Kwame. Now, on the other hand, the plural noun usually indicates possession by adding apostrophe to the plural form. Example, all the workers' cars have been seized. Now the workers is in plural form, so you just write the S and then the apostrophe comes. That's the difference between the singular and the plural. It is added to the last noun in a group to show joint possession of an object. You don't use on the first one. So Kwame and Ame's birthday. That is that. And then it is used to indicate omitted letters in contracted form of words. Example, I don't like oranges. So we could have said I do not like oranges, but here we have contracted the do not and we've made it don't, and the apostrophe is used. Let's look at the semicolon. It is regarded as a formal form of punctuation, which is mainly used between clauses that are joined by any form of conjunction. In the English language, a semicolon can be used between two closely related independent clauses, provided they are not already joined by a coordinating conjunction. Those ideas then given equal position or rank. Example, we had a wonderful day. Unfortunately, they did not. So that is the semicolon. So we are talking about the uses of the semicolon, and we said that it is used when connecting two sentences or independent clauses, and then it is used as separation device of certain adverbs. So that is that. And then let's look at the colon. The colon is a punctuation mark that is used to separate two parts of a sentence when the first leads to the second. Let's look at the uses of the colon. It is used to explain, interpret, clarify, or amplify what has gone before it. Example, fuel prices these days are unpredictable. They are increased every week. The colon is used to introduce a list. Example, the list include, then you can see the colon there, then clothes, gun, and computer. A colon is used to introduce a quotation or a piece of direct speech. Example, one of my favorite quotation. Then you see the colon there. There is no act to find the mind's construction on the face. Let's go to quotation marks. Quotation marks are also known as inverted commas, as it is used to enclose material that is part of a direct speech. Let's look at the uses of the quotation marks. It is used at the beginning and of piece of direct speech. Example, if I had enough money, John said, I would buy a new car. Then, quotation marks are sometimes used to indicate the title of a book or newspaper. My favorite newspaper is the Daily Guide, and the quotation marks is being used there to indicate that. Hyphen. A hyphen is used to join two words together or to indicate that a word has been broken at the end of the line due to lack of space. Some of the uses of hyphen. It is used in compound adjectives when it occurs before the noun. Then the hyphen is used in compound adjectives consisting of two elements, the second of which ends in ed. The hyphen is always used in some phase compounds of two or three words. Then let's look at exclamation. Exclamation marks were originally called the notes of admiration. They are to express excitement. They are also to express surprise, astonishment, and sometimes a directive or any other such strong emotions. Any exclamatory sentence can be properly followed by an exclamation mark to add additional emphasis. For example, what a beautiful day! How marvelous! You must be joking. So these are all examples. Now we end here by giving you assignment. Then it says write 10 sentences that contain at least one or more punctuation mark. So see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.